I've always been a cat person. There's something about their quiet grace, the way they move like they know secrets you'll never understand, that's always drawn me in. So when I adopted Loki, a sleek black cat with piercing emerald eyes, from a local shelter last year, I thought I'd found the perfect companion. He was everything you'd want in a cat. Playful but not hyper, affectionate but not clingy, with a knack for swatting my phone off the table whenever I got lost in a Reddit rabbit hole. His purr was like a little motor, and he'd curl up next to me every night, a warm shadow in my quiet apartment. For a while, life with Loki was perfect. But over the past 2 months, things have changed. I don't know if it's him, or me, or something else entirely, but I'm starting to think Loki isn't just a cat. At night, he becomes something else. Something that terrifies me. Started small about 8 weeks ago. I'd wake up in the middle of the night to strange noises. Low, guttural growls that didn't sound like any animal I'd ever heard. At first, I figured Loki was just chasing a bug or having a weird cat dream. I'd fumble for the bedside lamp, and there he'd be, sitting at the foot of my bed, staring at me. His eyes, usually a vibrant green, seemed to catch the light in a way that made them glow an unnatural red, like embers in a fire. It was unsettling, but I'd laugh it off, call him my little gremlin, and try to go back to sleep. But the growls kept happening night after night, and they started to feel deliberate, like they were meant for me to hear. Then the whispering started. It was about a month ago, maybe 3 a.m., when I jolted awake to a sound I couldn't place. It was soft, like a breeze carrying voices from far away, but it was in my room. Hiss-like murmurs, too low to make out words, but rhythmic, almost like a chant. I live alone in a small apartment. No roommates, no neighbors close enough to hear through the walls. My heart was pounding as I grabbed my phone, using its flashlight to scan the room. The whispering stopped the instant the light came on. Loki was there, as usual, perched at the edge of my bed, his eyes locked on me. But his shadow on the wall, it wasn't right. It was too big, too sharp, with jagged edges that looked like horns or wings, stretching far beyond what a 10-pound cat could cast. I blinked, and it was gone. Just a normal cat shadow. I told myself it was my imagination, a trick of sleep-deprived eyes, but I barely slept that night. Things escalated from there. A week later, I started finding scratches. Not on me, thankfully, but on the walls, the furniture, even the ceiling in my bedroom. Deep, jagged gashes, like something with claws the size of kitchen knives had gone to town. I checked Loki's paws. His claws were normal, even a bit dull from his scratching post. There's no way he could have made those marks. I started locking him in the living room at night, thinking maybe he was having some kind of freakout. But the scratches kept appearing, always in places he couldn't possibly reach, like the top of my 6-foot bookshelf or the underside of my kitchen table. Once, I found a set of claw marks gouged into the inside of my closet door, as if something had been trapped in there, trying to get out. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe I had a rat problem, or maybe I was sleepwalking and doing this myself, though I couldn't explain how I'd reached the ceiling. I set up a cheap motion sensor camera in my bedroom to catch whatever was happening. The first few nights, it recorded nothing but Loki jumping on and off the bed, being his usual cat self. But last week, I caught something. At 2:47 a.m., the footage showed Loki sitting on my chest while I slept. His eyes were glowing, not reflecting the camera's infrared, but emitting a dull red light, like he was lit from within. The audio picked up that same whispering, faint but unmistakable, coming from his direction. I couldn't make out words, but it sounded angry. I watched the clip over and over, my stomach twisting. The worst part? His shadow on the wall behind him wasn't a cat's. It was tall, humanoid, with sharp, curved horns and what looked like claws extending from 2 long arms. The footage cut to static after that. I stopped sleeping much after that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd hear those whispers or feel a weight on my chest, like something was pressing down, watching me. 2 nights ago, it got worse. I woke up, or thought I woke up, paralyzed like I was stuck in sleep paralysis. The room was pitch black, colder than it should have been, and that whispering was louder, closer, like it was inside my skull. I forced my eyes open, and there was Loki, inches from my face. His eyes were blazing red, and his mouth. God, his mouth was wrong. It was stretched wide, too wide, filled with rows of needle-like teeth that no cat should have. His body seemed to flicker, like it was made of smoke, and for a moment, I saw something else. A towering figure, horned and clawed, its edges blurring into the darkness. The whispering turned into a low, guttural chant, and I swear it was saying my name, over and over, in a voice that made my skin crawl. I screamed or tried to, and the weight lifted. The room snapped back to normal. Loki was just a cat again, curled up on my pillow, purring softly like nothing had happened. I haven't slept since. I've been digging into anything I can find, trying to make sense of this. I found old folklore about demon cats or familiars, creatures that look like animals but serve as vessels for something darker. One story talked about a black cat that guarded a cursed artifact, taking on a devil's form at night to protect it. Another mentioned a creature called a barghest, a demonic beast that could disguise itself as a dog or cat. I even tracked down the shelter's records on Loki. All they had was a single page. He was a stray, found near an abandoned church on the edge of town, no owner, no his. History. The shelter worker I called sounded nervous when I pressed for details, saying the church had been boarded up for years after weird stuff happened there. She didn't elaborate. I've set up my old webcam again, this time with a better angle and a backup battery. I've also started leaving lights on at night, though I'm not sure it helps. Last night, I heard the growling again, even with Loki locked in the living room. When I checked on him, he was sitting by the door, staring at me through the crack, his eyes glowing that same eerie red. The scratches on the door this morning were fresh, deeper than before, like something was trying to claw its way through. I don't know what to do. I love Loki. He's still my cat during the day, purring and headbutting my hand like nothing's wrong. But at night, I don't think he's mine anymore. Maybe he never was. I'm posting the webcam footage tonight if I can get it to upload. If something happens to me, someone please check the files. Has anyone else dealt with a pet like this? Is Loki possessed? Or am I losing my mind? I'm scared to sleep, scared to leave him alone, scared to even look at him sometimes. But I can't bring myself to give him up. Not yet. The footage from last night is worse than I thought. At 2:13 a.m., Loki's on my chest again, eyes glowing red. The whispering is louder, almost intelligible, like a prayer in a language I don't know. The shadow on the wall is clearer this time. Definitely not a cat. It's tall, horned, with claws that scrape the air like they're reaching for me. At one point, the camera glitches, and for a split second, I see that thing. Not Loki, but the other thing. Standing over me, its face too blurred to make out, but unmistakably wrong. I'm taking Loki to a vet tomorrow, maybe a priest after that. I don't know if I'm dealing with a demon, a curse, or just my own head, but I can't keep doing this. The vet found nothing wrong with Loki. He's perfectly healthy, they said, though he hissed at the vet tech like he was possessed. I called a local church, and they referred me to someone who deals with spiritual disturbances. They're coming tomorrow. I'm not religious, but I'm desperate. The whispering started again just now, even though it's not fully dark yet. It's coming from the living room, where Loki's sitting by the window staring outside. His shadow on the curtain. It's not a cat's. I'm locking my bedroom door tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned for more stories right here on Reddit Tales Times, and drop your thoughts, comments, and suggestions below. We love hearing from you.